Hey everybody, Nevagusak, your host of the Populist Patriot, burning the midnight oil, but I got to do it. Got to keep this program going. Get another sip of my water. I want to share this piece of really good news, uh, and this is the type of capitalism I support. On this program, we support a form of capitalism, not neoliberal market fundamentalist Milton Friedman type economics. That we should throw in the garbage can. That's crap. But here's an example of capitalism that I like to support because I like to share good news. And I spent over an hour and a half of talking about what I was against. Now let's talk about something what I'm for. And I've talked about it before. So I have this news article, David Hellwig, dated June 23rd, 2022. Algoma steel workers are rich like Rockefellers. New CEO announces record $151 million profit sharing payout for 2022. Algoma Steel Incorporated's 2,700 workers will cash big time Friday in the largest per employee payout in the steelmaker's 121-year history. Michael Garcia, the company's new chief executive officer, announced after the close of markets Thursday that total profit sharing payouts for the 2022 fiscal year will come to $150.7 million. That's almost $56,000 per employee. Wow. Today's announcement comes on the back of the company's impressive fourth quarter results, Garcia said. This past year, Algoma saw record safety performance, revenues, and cash flows, with much of that success attributable to our employees' hard work and dedication. Together, we are demonstrating that bold transformation, the continued pursuit of excellence and success, goes hand in hand. This cash infusion is in addition to approximately $400 million in annual payroll and pension benefits, and when combined with local investments in goods and services accruing $63 million to date, derived from the construction of our electronic arc furnace facility and our plate mill modernization, delivers meaningful, positive results for our community. And the company is going to celebrate the record year with a Family Day celebration on Saturday, June 25th, featuring plant tours, children's activities, live entertainment, and a barbecue lunch. There you go. Bingo! That's the type of capitalism I support. Bingo. Bingo. So those of you who are thinking and saying, oh my God, Nevin, you're a socialist, or you're a fascist, or you're a secret communist, because I know people are probably don't like my program because I'm actually promoting a communitarian style of capitalism. And, the political discourse is so fucked up and so shallow and unsophisticated that regulation or communitarian capitalism is equated with Nazism or communism. Because the political right in this country has become so unsophisticated, it's like almost disgusting. But anyways, getting back to the situation here, the article. This is the type of capitalism I support. You have a company like Paul Singer and what happened with Cavallas, the multi-billionaire hedge fund investor, making hand over fist profits, and yet he destroyed the town of Sydney, Nebraska by closing the major office complexes and call centers in Sydney, Nebraska, just so he can earn his majority shareholders more money and in turn fatten his wallet and bank accounts. Paul Singer is a piece of shit. It's a profitable company. Decided to screw over an entire town, destroying its tax base and the lives of its citizens. Algoma Seal, Mr. Garcia, he's a patriot. He's a rich guy. Sure. Big deal. He's rich. But you know what he did by his workers? He invested instead of stock buybacks and cutting and downsizing and all the rest of it, while the company was profitable. Instead, he invested in his workforce because he values the people that make his company rich. Because he fosters a culture of class solidarity. Mr. Garcia is a nationalist. Mr. Garcia is a populist. Rich people like Mr. Garcia are welcome in our movement. And if God sees it fit for me to develop a political movement, if that's his plan for me, then people like Mr. Garcia of Algoma Steel, it's a Canadian company, granted, but people who think like him, rich people who think like him, are certainly welcome in the movement. People like Paul Singer are enemies of the people. People like the Kochs are enemies of the people. People like Enoch Wilson and Robert Leonard, who I talked about earlier in the program, are enemies of the people, of the American people, literally and functionally. Mr. Garcia of Algoma Steel is a friend of our people. Companies like Algoma Steel are positive examples of capitalism, of the titans and the raw power of traditional bread and butter, roots in the soil capitalism that make nations powerful and great, and that combat the scourges of neo-fascism and communism. A radical civic nationalist movement will make sure that the principles as espoused by Mr. Garcia and the Aaron Feuersteins, and even people in my family like my father and my brother, are firmly ensconced in the curriculums of all public high schools when teaching economics and public universities. We are not going to subsidize libertarian economists and believers in social Darwinist economic theories as expounded by, the Milton Friedmans, the Don Bourdieu's, and others. They want to teach at a private university, fine. But public universities, and they are public universities, not just private universities, they're not getting our tax dollars. Because we are going to create, if we had a Nevin Gusick administration in this country, with multiple administrations, and if they eliminate presidential term limits where presidents can be elected over and over based on the popular vote, we're going to want to create a program that creates and encourages the education and development and the business theories of people like Mr. Garcia of Algoma Steel and Aaron Feuerstein, the late Aaron Feuerstein of Malden Mills. And whenever I come across news of capitalists like Mr. Garcia and Mr. Feuerstein, we're going to celebrate them on this program. We're going to celebrate labor union heroes. We're going to interview people like Charles Daniels of American Workers First, and he's involved, I think, with the Communication Workers of America. You have to understand, radical civic nationalism is based on class solidarity. We don't excoriate people because of the social class they come from, or the race they come from, or the religion they come from, or whether they're male or female. We excoriate individuals and criticize individuals, and we launch campaigns and states of declarations of war against them based on ideas and values. And if you engage in attitudes and ideas and use your political economic power to propagate ideas, even in the form of policies that are inimical to the nation, to the survival of our nation, you're going to earn my ire on this program. Just simple as that. It's the way it's going to go. But at the same time, Mr. Garcia, he's going to be celebrated on this program. Because people like Mr. Garcia, even though Algoma Steel is, I believe, Canadian, capitalists like him are going to be celebrated. And we're going to make an extra special effort to highlight people like that. Or the Nick Hanauers, or the Aaron Feuersteins, if you want to take Americans as an example. We're going to highlight them. Or people like my brother, or my father. Tough-nosed business people, good business people, took care of their workers while expecting results. That's my type of capitalism. Those people we're going to protect with the full power of the state and the law. But at the same time, people like the business entrepreneurs, quote unquote, alleged entrepreneurs, like Enoch Wilson, it seems like he is, and Robert Leonard, as he claims, he's very wealthy. People with those attitudes that I read in the previous podcast, they're not going to have our protection. I don't even want to say what they will earn in a radical civic nationalist America, but they certainly will not get our protection, and certainly not support. So I just want to share this good news about a positive example of capitalism, corporate capitalism, the types that we support as radical civic nationalists. And I got some more live streams to do, and have a great night. Thank you